Welcome to Movie Show Plus. We are here at MJR Theaters in Troy for
The Rise of Skywalker. Yes, it is our Star Wars special of Movie Show Plus today. It's all about Star Wars. We got interviews with the cast and crew members. I'm going to tell you what I thought of the film, everything you would want, and more, Greg.
That's right. In fact, I'm going to tell you about my history with Star Wars and something very special that happened 42 years ago.
You got to check out that breathing, but we'll do that after we start Movie Show Plus, the Star Wars edition.
Where's my inhaler?
We've spotted the fugitives. They fly now? They fly now!
Hey, good evening, and welcome to the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker. Well, it's incredible. First of all, it's a big responsibility. First of all, when we bought Lucasfilm and becoming kind of the keeper of the Star Wars flame, so to speak, we took it quite seriously, and we're indebted to George for entrusting us with it.
It's really fun to finally be here. It's kind of surreal, and I can't wait for people to see the movie.
Well, it's amazing to come to one of the biggest parties in the galaxy, and a stunning setting, and a sense of excitement, and everybody wants to know how this story ends.
Because it's also that strange thing of for 3.5 weeks, people have been going, how does it feel to end, to end? So like those words go around in your head and you're like, oh, an end? Oh my gosh, an end. Like, what does it mean? It feels emotional. I'm excited for people to watch it, but it feels strange. I thought that it's almost done.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think this is the first time we're seeing the movie with a real audience, with real people. Not to say that my castmates are not real. People of the general public. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everyone. Oh, Harrison's here.
It's, surrounded by this huge epic scale, and the design of it is very beautiful. But at the meat of the story, it's about a lot of very universal themes. It's Luke Skywalker, who feels he's in a small town and is destined to do something greater, and acquired family, found family, and then the family that you can't escape.
It's great. I never thought I would be a part of all of this. I know that the fans for years, they've been clamoring for Lando to come back. But when I got the call from JJ, I was really quite excited about that. I'm crazy about him.
It just feels like we just climbed to the top of the mountain, so there's a lot of relief. It feels like we finally made it. And I'm sure, in the next few days, I'll start feeling a little melancholic over the whole thing, but I'm so excited that we're finally sharing the movie with everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker!
So yes, this is our Star Wars special episode of Movie Show Plus. Of course, we're here because The Rise of Skywalker, by the time people see this, is in theaters everywhere.
Yep.
And we're going to come at you with all kinds of stuff, interviews, cast and crew, some behind-the-scenes look at the film, and of course, our reaction to the film. That's all coming up on this show. And you can also rest assured that we're not going to give away any major spoilers.
Not at all.
So you don't have to worry about any of that. But Greg, before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, as I like to say, Star Wars is ending. I mean, the Skywalker saga, the 9 episodes of the Skywalker saga is coming to a close with this film. It means so much to so many people.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't even alive when the first one came out.
Oh.
I know, right? Does that make you old? Greg will start crying here in a minute. But no,
I'll do that anyway. But
what does this film mean? What does this franchise, what does Star Wars mean to you?
It's so funny, Tom. I talk about this all the time. Back then, they didn't promote movies or advertise them the way they do now.
Right.
So back in 1977, when the movie came out, you just thought, okay, it's a space movie.
Yeah.
Didn't think about anything. My cousin and I went to the Americana Theater at that time, which was on Greenfield at 9 Mile, which was like the big place to go. And they actually had stormtroopers there for that opening day. And then when it comes on, the same way it does now. A long time ago, galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
And then it goes, and then it starts up by going, episode 4. And honestly, we're going, how did we miss the first 3? Which you didn't know.
Right.
But then it comes on, you meet these characters, you see these things, and it was like something you had never seen before. I mean, Darth Vader was like the scariest person I'd ever seen on screen.
At the time when you saw it, was it like you knew right as you were watching it that it was something special, something different?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was just like, oh my God, this is mine. This is my thing.
By the time I got into Star Wars, my brother had, he's older than I am, he had every single, and I'm not kidding, every single Star Wars action figure.
Oh, wow.
They would be worth millions of dollars had he not destroyed
usual.
them with overplay. But I first came to Star Wars, much like I did with the Godfather series. I saw Godfather 3 before I saw the other 2, which is why I liked it more, because I didn't have anything to compare it to, right? So that's when I fell in love with Al Pacino in a not romantic way. But anyway, with Star Wars, I saw Return of the Jedi first. I remember seeing it as a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
My brother was already into these things. I didn't know what they were, but I remember seeing it. I had the Ewok figure.
Oh, yeah.
And from there, I was completely sold. And then the prequels is when I stood in line. I kind of had that quasi experience because back when the prequels came out, there were lines around the theaters again just for people to get a ticket to go inside.
And something else to share. In 1977, I was in California for the summer, staying with my aunt. And ironically, I was at the Grauman's Chinese Theater at that time when they were having another premiere showing of it. And there was also the day when C-3PO, R2-D2, and Darth Vader put their footprints in the cement.
How cool.
I hate the fact that we didn't have cameras like we do now.
Right.
We can take pictures of everything. One thing I still have at home is my program from that screening.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you'll be able to tell that it's real because there are no barcodes. And I looked at it this morning, and it was just so simple, the way they did it. But it's fascinating, and it's truly one of my most honored and prized possessions.
Well, Greg, everybody has their Star Wars story. That's why it's
do.
such a film that everybody can relate to, and it's a part of everybody's lives. We're going to get into more of the film as we go through this episode. But first, let's take a look at some behind-the-scenes footage.
Oh, love that.
And some interviews with the cast and crew of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
We knew we couldn't tell the story of this movie, wrap up the Skywalker saga, and not have Leia in the film. Not just because she was a Skywalker herself and leads the Resistance, but also because she's the mother of our villain. There was so much that connected to her, and we realized that we had footage from Force Awakens we could repurpose for this movie. So we wrote scenes entirely around her, what we had shot, and we approached them very much like shooting the other side of a scene with an actor that wasn't available. Meaning, sometimes in this film, Oscar couldn't be there on a certain day, or John couldn't, so we would shoot the other side of that scene. We did that with these scenes with Leia, only the side for Keri had been shot 4 years earlier. So it was a bit of a puzzle. And had we had Keri, of course, we would have done other things, additional things. But I think we're very lucky to have had the footage that we had to work with her. What was important to me beginning to work on this, and Chris Terrio, who I wrote it with, he and I began our conversations on The Rise of Skywalker, really asking ourselves, knowing everything we inherit, the 8 films that precede this one, what do we need to see? What do we want to see? What is the story that is being told in these, what would be 9 chapters? And how do we make it something that is both, thrilling and also deeply emotional, both spectacle and also really intimate. It's like terrifying and also family friendly. Like we had all these things we had to balance, and it was really about just, asking ourselves what delights us and what do we feel this movie should be.
I would say we can expect a lot of fun action stuff, but also a continuation of her trying to really figure out who she is and why she is there and what has led her to this moment. She needs to get answers in order to move forward. So she's for sure progressed, but there's still a lot of searching.
I mean, that's the script was really great. There is an overall journey that JJ had said to me that about the character from the very beginning in our very first meeting that I've been holding on to for 6 years. So hopefully the satisfying thing about it is, now we've been working towards this thing and now we get to do it.
It's special. It's special to be a part of it. It's special to see the transition of everything, because I think in the beginning I couldn't imagine 3 films and how I'd feel doing 3 films. So to be at the end, it's just it's real surreal.
It's a wonderful character. I'm forever grateful for Peter, who was part of creating this memorable, unique sort of character. And I'm always striving for, when I play this character, the biggest challenge is to avoid the feeling of, that's a guy in a suit. So that's the challenge of playing this character. You have to bring Chewbacca on screen and make him alive.
It's felt a bit of a responsibility, actually, because you have to have a consistency of the character, and he changes depending on where he's put, who he's with. It brings out various qualities within him. But always he is that same rather pernickety, loving, humorless. He has no sense of humor, but he has tremendous vulnerability, and we all we want to look after him. And what was magical on the set was that Daisy and John and Oscar would regularly look after me as I almost fell over here or there, whatever. So it was becoming a reality in a way.
One of the first things that crossed my mind when Kathy Kennedy called to ask if I'd come back to do this film was getting to work with John Williams again. The opportunity to collaborate with him, I would drop everything at any moment to get to do that.
Well, I hope that they feel that I did a good job with the character in the circumstances that were presented to me.
I think one of the things that JJ was excited about, and I got very excited about when we were starting, was that he wanted to dirty up his squeaky clean flyboy image, this kind of heroic pilot that actually he has a bit of a shady past and has maybe had some questionable decisions that he's confronted with when they have to go to this particular planet, and what's fun about that is getting to introduce this incredible character that Keri plays, Zorii Bliss.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't think I quite know the magnitude of what it all means yet, because it's just been so private, filming, and then we just saw the movie last night. We haven't been to a premiere or anything. It's not out in the world yet, but incredible. You feel like you're a part of history in a way.
I think it's important for everyone to find their own theme in it. I will tell you that there are certain things that are hugely important to us, but when I think something is made that is made truthfully and a film that storytellers are doing their work to tell something that is true to them, usually that film resonates, and it's amazing that how many themes you can find for yourself. But I will say that one key thing here, and this is true, I think, in all the Star Wars movies, is that the family that you choose, the people that you are with, are really your true family, and that you are, what your choices are. You choose who you are, and I think there's something honest and profound and moving about that.
I feel like it's gone by in a flash now that we're here. And I feel like it was a slog, but a great slog. It was, it's been tough, hard work, but I'm so grateful to be part of it and really proud of this film. Watching it, overwhelmed,
being in it grateful?
Well, I never feel like it's the end with Star Wars. It seems like it's going to go on forever and ever and ever.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
Hey, Greg Russell here from Movie Show Plus, enjoying being here at the Foundation Hotel this week. We've been taking the show on the road quite a bit. Now, if you've got a business that you would like us to showcase, just let us know. Get in touch with us via our website right here, movieshowplus.com, and we'll get back with you. And hey, who knows? You might be the next movie star right here on Movie Show Plus.
Check out movieshowplus.com to watch this episode online and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
So we're back on the Star Wars special episode of Movie Show Plus. I'm here with Greg Russell. We're at the MJR Troy. We actually just got out of seeing an advanced screening of Rise of Skywalker. Don't worry, we're not going to spoil anything as far as the plot goes or anything. But Greg, it is that time. People are probably dying to know, is it good? Is it worth the wait? What did you think of the film?
It was one of those where, like you said, it's so strange. You can't say too much.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to ruin
about anything. But no, it was solid. People came out. Some people had even talked about how it hit them emotionally.
Sure.
And yeah, it's kind of like if you've been a fan from the start or wherever you came in. Yeah, you
felt it was a satisfying way to end it. Did it feel? Because the thing about Last Jedi to me, it felt so, every expectation that you had, it kind of went a different direction.
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel like this movie played it safe, or did you feel like it was more daring like the last one?
Like I said, it did have daring parts in it. A couple of things that I thought I knew the answer already about wound up being different. So that was kind of unique.
That's true.
Where it's kind of like, because in your mind, you're going, see, I knew that all the way. But yeah, like you said, so many different storylines that were going on. And Star Wars has always been like, Shakespearean, Greek tragedies. I mean, family issues galore here. So.
Yes, yeah. I mean, I'm going to get into my review here in a minute, but before I do that, I'm just going to ask you one more time.
Yeah.
I know that, again, it's fresh. You just got out of the theater. Do you have a favorite Star Wars movie of all of them? That
if anything, probably the first one.
Okay,
I mean, that's
just
because
of
that was the one,
yeah, sure.
That just got me going. And, it even made me think about, I'm a grown man, and the best part now about being grown-ups as compared to maybe generations before, we can still buy toys and still have things.
Sure.
I've got 3 Darth Vader helmets at home.
Wow.
The full one, a 3/4 one, and then, just the face one, as well as the shirt, 4 lightsabers.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and my wife still lets me play with all that stuff. So, Thanks, Rita.
I'm going to give you my review coming up right now in my segment, but believe it or not, that wasn't the only film that is coming out in theaters. So here are a couple others, as well as my take on Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. In order to pack in as much special Star Wars content as possible this episode, I'll try to make this quick and to the point. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is not the best Star Wars movie and will not be regarded as so by critics or, in my guess, by fans. However, it's better that JJ Abrams landed the saga safely rather than have it crash and burn. And I think when the dust settles, most people will be happy that reward was valued more than risk. In other words, this is a safe way to end Star Wars. Maybe a bit too safe, but that's not to say that it isn't satisfying. JJ Abrams successfully checks all the boxes necessary to please the millions of Star Wars fans in the galaxy, but he does so without challenging us, surprising us, or offering us much substance. This movie is riddled with plot holes as he course corrects the franchise after what Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi. I'm going to urge you to check out my full review of this movie on our website or on my Rotten Tomatoes page, as I have many more thoughts that can't be contained in this review. But overall, I think that The Rise of Skywalker is a crowd pleaser, if not a game changer. I give it a B. It's probably the weakest overall film of the new trilogy, but that doesn't mean I didn't leave the theater shaking and bawling. I think you will too. Believe it or not, there are some other films opening in theaters opposite Star Wars this weekend, but trust me, I'm doing you a favor by not going into depth on Cats. My review of Jay Roach's Bombshell is also now online. For more detailed reviews of these and other movies, please check me out on Rotten Tomatoes. You can go to the site, search the critics list to find Tom Santilli, and you can scroll through all of my recent and not so recent reviews. Another good way to find my stuff is to follow me on Twitter @Tom Santilli, or go to the website movieshowplus.com.
A Dream Limousine continues to be Metro Detroit's finest luxury transportation service. 734-542-6800. Offering late model luxury SUVs to brand new party buses that seat up to 34 passengers. 734-542-6800. Including the one-of-a-kind Escalade stretch with the exciting jet door. Call 734-542-6800. That's 734-542-6800. A Dream Limousine.
Well, I think bringing all of us back in one way or another, I think is a great idea.
I'm so glad Billy Dee is in the final installment because he deserves it. I thought anybody that's still around, no matter how prominent or obscure, should come back. We were unknowns when we were cast, and when they cast Billy Dee in Empire, he was like a big movie star. You know, we went, wow, you know, Lady Sings the Blues, and I won't go through his whole resume, but, you know, he's just the smoothest, you know, he's almost like an old school 1930s matinee idol. And he's just a really wonderful guy and fun to be around. And, you know, he saved my life in Empire, so I owe him that.
Star Wars has changed my life in a lot of ways. It's, you know, it's given me and those I've worked with, I think, the opportunity to do things, be places, collaborate with certain people, tell certain stories, that I think we probably wouldn't have been able to otherwise.
This is a unique opportunity. It's never happened in the theater, in film, whatever, where a composer can keep working on the same corporal, however to think of it, body of work, and continue to add to it. What a privilege is that?
My first day on set was in the Millennium Falcon next to Jonas as Chewbacca, and then these crazy new aliens in there, and JJ just screaming all sorts of stuff at me to do this and do that, and it just there's just an energy to it. And also the thing that JJ brings is he brings so much fun. Lots of music in between takes. He'll beatbox randomly onto a microphone. He'll just say really dumb jokes on the microphone, and it just gives a looseness and it just reminds us that we're also playing. We're playing in this imaginary world, and at the same time, it can get super serious and tries to get to a real profound truth with these characters and what they're up against, but at the same time also finds the joy of it.
I always thought it was so smart of George to include a character that was so accessible to young people. Of all the characters, Luke was a simple farm boy, and the young people could relate to that. Like, oh, I could do that, or I would feel comfortable being around him.
Greg, there is so much more Star Wars content, actually, for people out there that are interested. On our website, movieshowplus.com. We have featurettes up. We have exclusive from the global press conference of Rise of Skywalker. There's some footage up there. So there's all kinds of new, cool content for you guys out there if you're wanting more and more Star Wars, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this.
Absolutely.
That's really going to do it for the Star Wars special episode.
I enjoyed.
Coming here from the MGR Troy.
Force is strong with this one.
That's true. Thank you for noticing.
You got it.
And with that, thank you for watching. Tune in next week because it's our year-end special.
Wow.
It's an hour-long show. We're going to be at the Rooster Tail, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to be going all through our favorite films of the year, favorite performances, and go through some of Greg's favorite interviews of the year.
Oh, looking forward to that very much, Tom.
Thank you, everybody. May the Force be with you.
And also with you. Jedi mind trick.
Get out of my mind, Greg.
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online, and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
Any and all views and or opinions expressed by me, Tom Santilli, are fully my own and do not necessarily reflect the views and or opinions of Movie Show Plus, any other critic on this show, or anybody else associated with this program.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby.